É uma satisfação enorme estar aqui apresentando o professor Jan Hoeijmakers. Ele é professor da Universidade de Erasmus, do Departamento de Genética. Ele é o diretor do Instituto atualmente.
In fact, we would like to stay young, but with aging, we develop cardiovascular disease, diabetes, Alzheimer, Parkinson's, osteoporosis, macular degeneration, cataract, deafness, all handicaps, illnesses that are linked with aging. By genetic means, we can also focus, we can target the repair defect only to one organ. So we can make the repair defect only be present in the brain. And then you will see that as a consequence, this brain shows dramatic aging in a very relatively short time, whereas the rest of the body is not aging so much. So we can indeed manipulate aging by targeting it only, in this case, to the brain. This is a section through the brain of such a mouse. This is the normal brain, and this is the brain of such a brain-specific aging mouse. And you can see it has lost many cells compared to normal brain, and you can see also here. And these mice die from neurological abnormalities. Like in many cases, human patients, like Alzheimer's patients, die from neurological abnormalities. So we can study these processes in the mouse to understand what's going on in the patients. And it's very interesting that this very same policy, this strategy of investing into into maintenance and repair, that same strategy is involved in longevity. So if a mouse has a defect in the growth hormone, so it will stay very tiny, a dwarf mouse, such a mouse lives much longer. Such a mouse can live 4 years, whereas normal mice live only 2.5 years. So if the mouse is born with a less functional growth hormone axis and the mouse stays tiny, it lives long. And also, if you give a mouse not enough food, so caloric restriction, 70% of the normal intake of a mouse in terms of calorie, such a mouse stays very tiny, but can live 4 years. Whereas the opposite is true. If you take a mouse and you provide the mouse with an extra copy for the growth hormone gene of the bovine, so that this mouse has an extra growth hormone, it will have more growth hormone than the normal mouse. It becomes a large mouse, rat size, but that mouse lives shorter than a normal mouse does. So it works in both ways. If you invest too much into growth, you are going to live shorter. If you do not invest into growth, but into maintenance, you are going to live longer and healthier. So the super long-lived mouse has a profile that is very similar to a very short-lived mouse that has a DNA repair defect. We interpret this reaction as an attempt. Our short-lived mice, they try to do their very best to live as long as possible. They suppress growth. They invest into maintenance and repair as much as they can. Of course, it is futile. It doesn't help because they have a repair defect. Whatever they invest, it doesn't help them. They have a defect. They cannot overcome it. But they try to do their very best. So there is a response that can be triggered by DNA damage, even in normal people, that will favor maintenance and repair at the expense of growth. And this response, which we call a survival response, may be very important to promote healthy aging. In the future, we hope that we can promote healthy aging by understanding how the normal process of aging works, and that we can promote people being still active at older age